Last fall, I did a market study on the most valuable Marvel Legends, and that was a pretty big hit of a video. Well, it's been a year, and a lot has changed, and you're gonna be really surprised who has moved into the top 10 and who's moved out. Like, seriously, you're gonna be really surprised at who number 1 is, at least. What's up, everybody? My name is Matt, often called Big Nerdy. You are the NWO, the Nerd World Order, and this is Nerdzoic. Alright, last year I actually did 3 most valuable Marvel Legends videos. 1 for Hasbro, 1 for Toy Biz, 1 overall. That was overkill. This year we're just doing the 1 overall. Plus, I just rewatched last year's and the audio sucked, so I apologize. I've come a long way. Real quick, if it is our first time meeting, hello, my name is Matt. Good to meet you. Welcome to my corner of the nostalgic internet where I talk about action figures. I started this channel because I love toys. They've always been a huge part of my life, and now they're like all over the place. Hell, I even sell toys. Somehow I'm living the action figure dream, folks. To avoid you going to the comments and tell me how wrong I am, I have some rules to point out about how this list was compiled. First of all, there are no BAFs on this list. That'll be a separate video. Second of all, this is based on percent growth over original price, not overall dollars. If it was overall dollars, number 1 would be the Sentinel, of course. Third, whatever. This just includes the Marvel Legends proper line, both Toy Biz and Hasbro. This does not include such things as Spider-Man Classics, Fantastic Four Classics, Hulk Classics, so you're not going to see like Dragon Man in here or anything, or I think it was the McFarlane Spider-Man for Spider-Man Classics, that's like buku bucks. I don't really consider them part of Marvel Legends proper. You also won't see such things as Legendary Heroes, which is a line that Toy Biz did after they lost a Marvel license and gave us the fabled and well talked about Pit figure, which is not a Marvel Legend, guys. And the final rule, these prices are based on completed auctions on eBay as compiled by Action Figure 411, with some of it done by hand, and it's based on complete min-on-card figures. What's interesting is that the line as a whole actually went up over the year. Each position in the top 10 is actually more valuable than it was last year. For example, last year you could get into the top 10 being worth less than $100. This year, forget about it. Alright, you ready? Let's talk about some expensive plastic crack. Coming in at number 10 is the Hobgoblin. Released in 2016, this is part of the Space Venom Build-A-Figure series. This guy is currently going for $119, which is a 495% increase. This guy actually went down $1 on average than last year. Last year he was going for $119, and he was at spot number 6, so he dropped 4 spots. This might have something to do with the new Hobgoblin Spider-Man Retro Series carded Marvel Legends, that's a mouthful, that just got announced a few weeks back, which you can get on the website, by the way, if you haven't pre-ordered them yet. But I'll be honest, I prefer this, the more expensive version, of course. I like the colors better, and I like the scaling that's on his costume better. But you know what? I don't like them that much better that I'll pay 5 times the price. The previous owner of this spot is The Wrecker, who was at number 10 last year and dropped 9 spots to number 19. Coming in at number 9 is Superior Venom. This was released in 2015, and it's part of the Rhino Build-A-Figure series. Superior Venom is currently going for $137, which is a 537% increase. This figure is going for $27 more this year than it was last year, but it did drop a spot. It was number 8 last year. Now he's number 9. As far as who was number 9 last year, well, they're actually much higher in the countdown, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say who it is till we get there. But it's actually number 1. Coming in at number 8 is Tigra, or as I call her, 𝐼𝐸. I don't know why I call her that, but that's who I think of. Tigra was released in 2009. She was a Walmart exclusive and was part of the Red Hulk Build-A-Figure line. This is one of the earlier waves of Hasbro, which even though they had the license for 2 years at the time, it still is considered one of their earlier figures, and it has been sought after forever. Currently, it's going for $135, which is a 575% increase over its initial price. However, that's actually a major drop from last year, $20 less to be exact, as this was the number 1 most valuable figure last year. So Tigra took a big hit. No doubt this is partially in part of the re-release of Tigra that's coming out sometime next year, early spring, again, available at the Nerdzoic toy store, that looks a lot better and will be obviously a lot cheaper. This figure actually value slowly dipped all year until finally it went whenever they said, hey, new Tigra coming out. And of course, by I mean $20 down, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, pretty big movers and shakers here, folks. The previous owner of this spot was Superior Venom, who we just talked about at number 9. Coming in at number 7 is the Spider-Man from the Spider-Man 3 movie wave. So this was released in 2007 and was part of the dreadful Sandman Build-A-Figure series. You know, the one that was just basically a giant piece of plastic Sandman. This guy's currently going for $150, which is a 650% increase. He was just off the top 10 last year, as he was actually number 11 $97 and going for $96, so nice big jump this year. I don't remember ever seeing his figure in person, but looking at it now for the first time possibly ever, it is a hell of a good looking Spider-Man figure, so I can see why it's so sought after. Coming in at number 6 is Emma Frost, who was released in 2013 and was part of the, again, dreadful, Puck Build-A-Figure series. The White Queen is currently going for $151, which is a 653% increase. For a figure that looks pretty bad, which is what this is, I'm kind of surprised to see her in the top 10. She was number 12 last year, so she only made a little bit of a jump up, but still, I'm surprised. This isn't even on my wish list of figures for myself, so I guess I'm saving some money here. Like I said, in my opinion, this is not a great figure, but it did take Hasbro and Toy Biz years to get Emma Frost right. Personally, I think the Walgreens version is the best version, but I think people settle for this because that's the only good-looking white suit Emma Frost that we've gotten. The previous owner of the number 6 spot was the Hobgoblin, who came in at number 10 this year and we already talked about. Coming in at number 5 is Strife. This is a Cable clone, and he was released in 2014 and was part of the Jubilee Build-A-Figure wave. Strife is currently going for $152, which is a 656% increase. Over the last year, this figure's actually jumped up about $20 in value, but it went down in the rankings. This was number 3, so this is where you see the whole value of the line going up, making an impact, where you get a figure that goes up $20 in value over the year, but it still drops 2 spots in the rankings, so not bad. The previous owner of the number 5 spot was Spiral, which dropped 8 spots to number 13 overall and is no longer in the top 10. Coming in at number 4 is Thunderball. He was released in 2012 and was part of the Armin Zola Build-A-Figure series. Thunderball's currently going for $169, which is a 747% increase. This figure nearly doubled in price this year. He used to be only $87, now he's almost $170, so yeah, that's a pretty big jump. He wasn't even in the top 10. Last year, I think he was number 16. Check the notes. 17. He was number 17 last year, so congratulations, Thunderball. Also, say hi to your brother Fireball for me. He's a good friend of mine, but we get in trouble together sometimes. The previous owner of this spot is the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure series Rogue. Now listen, guys, you know this is hard for me. Rogue is my girlfriend. I do love her, but I'm gonna have to speak ill of her here. She dropped like a rock. She was number 1 overall. Now she dropped 55 spots to number 59 overall. Talk about a fall from grace. We might have to break up. With that big drop, you probably anticipated a pretty big change in value, and you would be correct. She used to go for about $120, now she's going for under 70, so if you want this version, now's the time to get her. Obviously, I'd say that the reason for this is that we got the Rogue on a retro card last year, so we got the new Jim Lee Rogue, which is, I think, objectively better, even though the head's not as good, but overall, I think it's a better figure, so I think that definitely is why Rogue fell out of grace. But don't worry, I still love you, baby. This does illustrate a very important point here. So, important point alert, folks. This is why knowing the value of figures is so damn important. By understanding the ebbs and flows of the market, you could have sold this Rogue last year if you were so inclined, bought the new Rogue, and had like $100 extra to spend on other Legends figures. It pays to know the market. Coming in at number 3 is the New Goblin, which was released in 2007, again as part of the dreadful Sandman Build-A-Figure wave, and again as part of the dreadful Spider-Man 3 movie tie-in series line figures of toys. It's a lot of words. This figure is currently going for $190, which is an 851% increase. And it's, again, an objectively pretty bad figure in this guy's opinion. This surprised me probably more than anything else except number 1. This is one of the biggest surprises on this list. Last year at this time, I couldn't even tell you what his ranking is because he wasn't even on my radar. He was going for about $50. But between last fall and now, he has had numerous sales anywhere between $125 and $225, and that's as in 100, not like literal dollars. I don't know, why is the demand for this thing going up? Again, objectively not a great figure in my opinion, so I don't get it, but he's number 3. Ironically, I have no memory of them calling Harry Osborn's character the New Goblin in Spider-Man 3, but I also have tried very hard to block that movie from my memory. Also, interestingly, this is the second figure from the Spider-Man 3 movie line to make the top 10. Could this have anything to do with interest of the Spider-Verse with Spider-Man No Way Home coming out soon? Probably. The previous owner of the number 3 spot was Strife, who we discussed at number 5. Coming in at number 2 is the She-Hulk, who was released in 2008 as part of the infamous Fin Fang Foom Build-A-Figure wave. She is currently going for about $200, which is a 950% increase over her initial price. Last year she was ranked number 25, going for about 75 bucks, so she is on the move. Now let's not pretend that there's not an obvious reason for this. Obviously this thing is sought after for the Fin Fang Foom head. I do wonder why all of a sudden it's jumping up between this year and last year. Maybe people are putting the Fin Fang Foom head on a knockoff body they're getting off of Alibaba. I have no idea, but yeah. She-Hulk. The previous owner of this spot was Spider-Man from the Sentinel Build-A-Figure wave. He dropped a whole 10 spots all the way to number 12. And if you want him, he actually went down from being 140-ish to about 115. So now's the time to buy if you want to, throw money at a kind of crappy looking Toy Biz figure. I'm gonna catch heat for that, aren't I? I know I am. All right, time for number one. I'm telling you, this is just like, really? That's number one? It's not what I would have thought of. It's not one people are going after regularly. And nobody's certainly buying this thing for the Build-A-Figure because it's a crappy Build-A-Figure. Any idea who it is? Any idea? All right, let's go find out. Coming at number one is Storm from the Jubilee Build-A-Figure wave. This was released in 2014, and it's currently going for $225 regularly, which is a 1,026% increase. Holy crap. She jumps up 8 spots from the number 9 spot of last year, and Mohawk Storm, congratulations on being number 1. Man, I love talking about toys. You know why? Because I love toys. You want to know how I got into this? You want to know my story, what brought me into this thing of ours? Check out this video here, and I think you're going to find that we have a lot in common. Till next time, remember, you have to get old, but you don't have to grow up. All you got to do is be cool and stay nerdy. Later.